Yo, what's up, guys? Your boy, Oversized Owl, back on the Man Fjords podcast today. It's me, Cooper. We're on a Zoom call. Of course, back to the old days. You know what
Back
I'm
to the
saying?
OG Zoom.
OG days. Lakers, Coop Dog, they're on a 2 game win streak, obviously. They're on a roll. This is Lakers basketball. They win 2 games, they lose six, right? Um, but how do you feel about the Lakers? Um, right now, obviously, they're looking pretty hot.
Yeah, I think they're definitely finding their rhythm. So that's exciting. We better see them
We better see
in the
Bronny.
playoffs.
We better see Bronny uh, in Los Angeles pretty soon. Um, but did you see the game winner by Matt Ryan?
I did. It was
So
to tie
to tie
overtime.
the game, but then they beat the
Yeah.
Pelicans.
Yeah,
Um,
that was crazy.
some another white boy on the Lakers squad.
Another white boy.
He was like his face after the shot. He was like stone cold. He's like,
He's like,
yeah, that was so easy,
he just started like
He said
walking off.
he said it felt like LeBron after the shot. I don't know if you could.
Bro,
I don't know about that, but
I don't know about that, but
it looks like Russ coming off the bench is a good plan for them right now. Because Russ, when
Mm,
he's off the bench, he gets you that plus minus ratio, which
yeah.
is favoring the plus. Um, do you think Russ coming off the bench is good right now? In the long run, how do you feel about that?
Yeah,
And
obviously he's going to be taking less shots off the bench, so he's got to make every shot count. So I think um, maybe it's just kind of not letting him take um, the hard shots, I guess, giving him
yeah,
time to create some good shots. He had some good assists. Like the chemistry is coming along. They're just moving along well. So I think the cohesion with him in this team is going to be better this year. I really hope it is, bro.
I think it will be because Lonnie Walker, he looks like a guy for Lakers who looks like an upcoming superstar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know about superstar, but let's just say
All star.
he's a good shooter.
Yeah. He had
Yeah.
29 points against the Pelicans,
Yeah.
which is a lot.
That's a lot.
A lot of points. Um, but I mean, it looks like they're kind of getting their rhythm.
hmm
Uh, obviously, it's only 2 games, but if they can
Yeah.
keep this going, I think we can see a lot more, you know, favoring them in the long run.
Yeah. AD playing well as well. That's a big factor.
Yeah.
So
And somebody who I like a lot is Austin Reeves. He's somebody he's kind
yeah.
of a he's kind of the sleeper, on the team. I think he kind of helps them with their he's definitely has chemistry with everybody on the team. He
Yeah.
plays solid defense. He can come in clutch and make a shot, which is what they need
Yeah, I think he
right
had a
now.
couple of threes in that game. Changed the tide. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Lakers the last two
yeah.
games.
Improvement is key.
Yes. Let's move on to OKC Thunder Cooper. Um, they're looking really good. They're on a 4 game win streak, two more than the Lakers.
We're playing
Uh,
Denver tonight, so
yeah, I
see if
think
we can add another win.
maybe, man, maybe. Um, say Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he's coming very clutch for us recently. He's averaging 31 points a game.
Yeah,
It's a lot of points. That's fourth in the NBA right now.
really good.
Um, we still need to work on our defense. But what other things do you think we need to work on defensively, offensively? What do you think?
Udor is a really good on the ball defender, so I think that is a big part of our defense. But we do need a big man to guard the paint, to get rebounds. So
Yeah, because I mean we don't really have one right
yeah,
now.
yeah, that was gonna be shit. but
Well, I mean, even if he was still playing for us, which he is, but you know, he's he's too skinny, right? I mean, the
no,
guy
okay, but like
guy's
he
barely
is
200
shifty.
pounds.
He's I don't know, bro.
Are you saying
Like
he could be like Bol Bol maybe?
I think I think you're discounting him. Obviously, it is the NBA and physicality is a big part of it, but I think he could do more than we think. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't think so.
That's all I'm gonna
I'm
say.
telling you right now, he's a bust. Guy's a bust.
No faith. No faith, bro.
I have faith in Sam Presti, right?
Yeah.
And I like Jalen Williams. He's so Cooper. Do you think OKC going into the right now currently ranked the number 8 seed? Do you think we kind of stick around that 10 to 8 seed the rest of the season? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, maybe we could sneak up into the seventh, but I think eighth or ninth is a safe bet. Maybe even 10th seed.
Yeah,
So,
because I mean we have some dogs. You know what I mean? Like we got
yeah.
some dogs.
Yeah, I mean, as long as our team stays healthy, uh, I think it'll be a good year for us.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I agree. Um, let's move on to the Bucks, man. Bucks are 7-0 right now. Um, obviously they played 6 home games, only 1 away game, which factors in a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean they're 7-0 without Chris Milton.
Hmm.
He's still out.
That's a big part of their offense. So
Yeah. So I mean, seeing that right now from the Bucks, um, it's looking like Giannis might have another MVP year, right?
yeah, dude, very well could be.
Yeah.
I think I was reading something like their defensive scheme. It has like two big men, so like two centers on defense. So I thought that was interesting.
They have Giannis and who's the other big man?
I don't know.
Bobby Portis, maybe.
Maybe Bobby Portis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Um,
sounds right.
yeah, that does sound right.
Mm.
Um, I do like their team right now. They have Drew Holiday, who I like a lot. You know, he's a really good player. Um,
Yeah.
and I think the Bucks, man, they have a lot of good veteran players on their team that know how to win now, since they've already won a championship, which I think kind of gives them the edge on a lot of other teams. You know,
Yeah.
um, so I do think they'll be probably going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Bold prediction right now. Um,
I don't know, bro.
we'll see what happens, but
We'll see.
last thing I want to talk about, Cooper, is the Utah Jazz. They are 6-2 right now. They beat the Warriors. They beat the Grizzlies twice, and they beat the Nuggets. So, man, I have no words right now.
Dude, I mean, so who is starting on the Jazz? It's Mike
So
Conley at point guard.
they have Colin
You
Sexton,
got Colin Sexton.
Larry Markkinen,
Okay.
and then Kelly Olynyk as well, and Jordan Clarkson, your boy.
My boy. Is he starting?
Yes,
Dang, okay.
and he's really good. Like
Yeah.
they pay him that
He's
money.
phenomenal,
They pay
bro.
him that money last year, and it's proven to be worth every single cent.
Oh yeah,
Like
dude.
he's
He's a
a
phenom on and off the court.
yeah,
He's amazing.
he has a really good shot. I love his
Shout
shot.
out. Shout out to Jordan Clarkson.
Shout out to Jordan Clarkson. Shout out.
Best style in the whole league.
Yes, the drip is insane.
He's
And the
so
tats,
drippy.
bro. You remember him without the tats? And then like one
Yeah.
off season, he just came back with all these tattoos.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
crazy. I'm really proud of the Jazz.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
they're
dude, the coaching staff, I think that's probably one of the biggest things.
Who's their head
Um,
coach?
oh,
Here, let me
Who is
check.
they signed I think they signed that one dude back for 5 years.
Let me check.
Because they lost their head coach last year, and then they got a new head coach. I
His
just
name
can't
is
think.
Will Hardy.
Will Hardy, yes, and he
Yes.
was the backup to the Celtics, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Okay,
he's
yeah.
proven to be a really, really good head coach. I mean,
So far, yeah,
yeah. I wouldn't say he's better than Quinn Snyder. He was a really good head coach for the Jazz.
yeah.
Uh,
Those are big shoes to fill, but yeah.
yeah. I'm really excited, man. I think they bring a lot of swag to the NBA, the Jazz do. And
Hmm.
they look like they're just having fun, you know?
Yeah.
So
I mean, what else you gonna do? You're not
exactly.
gonna have fun. It's not.
um, one last thing, Cooper. Miles Bridges. I know you talked to me about it. Can you kind of explain what the
Yeah.
situation is right now?
So basically, um, it's 3 years probation with no jail time, which I'm not super familiar with that, and I don't know the implications of it. So let me look it up real quick. Because I don't want to speak on this
Right.
if I don't know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
So
And obviously, he won't be back in the NBA for a long time.
yeah, if he ever comes back, that's a lot of liability for a team to take. So
Yeah.
So probation type of criminal sentence served by an offender instead of a jail sentence. Period of supervision of a criminal offender by a corrections officer, usually in the form of a probation officer.
Yeah.
This is basically videos. Let me see if I can find a little more of it in depth. So stay in the community, work, and be with your family and friends with specific conditions instead of being sentenced to jail.
Which is better, I guess, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
It just kind of sucks because he was a really, really good player.
yeah,
And he was on the come up too, you know?
he really was, dude.
Yeah.
Tough to see. But
Yeah.
I
And then
mean,
you want to talk about the Warriors, right?
yeah, so they are 3-5 right now. Kind of underwhelming
Yeah.
for the amazing postseason they had last year.
Yeah. What do you think the problem is right now? Do you think it's maybe just lack of motivation or like, what do you think the factors are that are making them not
Uh,
where they want to be?
Let me take a look at how their schedule has been set up
Yeah, it might be
because
the
I know that
schedule.
can definitely
Yeah.
affect it.
I mean, we
Uh,
just won the NBA championship. Like, you're the number one team. So
yeah, and maybe they aren't in the right mindset to be.
they're currently
So
playing, sorry, they're currently playing the Magic and they're down by 2 points to the Magic.
yeah, Magic are 1-7
Yeah.
right now. So they lost to the Lakers. They
Yeah.
lost to the Nuggets twice.
Yeah.
They lost to the Suns, the Hornets. So, dude, I'm impressed with kind of what the Hornets have been able to do
I
in
know,
terms
bro.
like
They
Kelly Oubre has really stepped up.
and Gordon Hayward, man.
DJ
And
Washington as
PJ
well.
Washington as well, yeah.
Dude, I think it could be a good team. I'm excited, like,
What?
because I
No.
thought I okay, maybe not a great team, but like
Yeah.
I think it could be like that maybe eighth or ninth seed.
Yeah, they're proving to be a really good team right now.
Yeah, they're playing better than I thought they would be.
I think maybe it's the head coaching change, maybe.
Yeah. And I think opportunities opening up, players stepping up.
Yeah, so
So
can you talk to me a little bit about Dennis Smith Jr. so far? Because
yeah.
he's a guy who's been, he was thinking about quitting the NBA, but he came back. He was thinking about going to the NFL, and he came back to the NBA, and now he's been balling.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's a guy who played for the Mavericks for rookie year. He got
Yeah.
over 1,000 points in that season. And then ever since then, he's kind of drawn back, you know, he hasn't been the same guy.
Yeah.
We have James Harden Cooper, who's out for a month due to a foot injury. Um, I was not expecting this to happen.
Yeah, I wasn't either, man.
It was looking like James Harden was looking pretty good. Like he kind of slimmed down a little bit, you
Yeah.
know, during the off season. Um, so what is this injury kind of due to the Sixers season right now?
I think it's still early enough to where they're not hurt detrimentally by it, but it's he's a big part of their offense and probably the chemistry as well. So I think it just hurts him, I think the most, because these are just games that he's not able to play with them, building that chemistry, like getting down their play styles. While they did play in the playoffs together, I think it's just that season opening kind of first like 20 games. It's just, it just makes or breaks a team, I guess. And with one of your star players out, it's tough to see. So I think he'll be back in what, like a month or month and a half or something like that. So I think it's not too crazy. That's probably like, I mean, if they play like 3 games a week, it'd probably be like 12 or 15 games.
Right.
So I mean, it hurts, but
Yeah. Because I mean that chemistry with Joel Embiid, he's been working on that for the last 2 years,
yeah, yeah,
and they're still kind of working on it. But I do kind of think Tyrese Maxey will kind of start carrying the ball a little more. You
yeah. I
know,
mean, he's just, I mean, that's the guy they're going to turn to a lot. Obviously, Joel Embiid will get a bunch of touches, but
yeah,
Tyrese is, he's that guy taking the ball up the court.
yeah.
So,
What about Tobias Harris? What do you think about him right now?
um, I honestly haven't watched a whole lot of them. But I mean, overall throughout his career with them, he's kind of been lackluster. Um, he's a good, dependable shooter, but like it just, he's just, um, I don't know. He just hasn't kind of lived up to what I thought he would be in
Yeah,
that organization.
I thought he'd be averaging like 20 points a game, or maybe even carrying the team in points or whatever. But
Yeah,
he's kind of he's kind of turned into like a six man, I would say. Even
yeah,
though he is a starter, but he averages like 15 or 16 points per game right
hmm,
now. So, it's I think he'll hopefully his role will kind of increase over the next month or so.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, I do think the Sixers have a lot of assets on their team, so
for sure.
I don't think this will hurt them that much. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I think in the long run, it will kind of hurt their chemistry, like you said. But I think in the short run, right now, I think it's it's gonna be a kind of an adjustment. I know Doc Rivers will probably have something planned already for them.
yeah,
But I mean, I do expect Joel Embiid to increase his role, obviously.
yeah.
So
And we've seen him take up a big role in that team. So I don't see him failing at that. So I'm looking forward to some good basketball from them.
yeah, same here, man. I think moving forward, I do think that the Sixers they'll definitely be a playoff team, no doubt, without
Yeah,
question. Um, but let's kind of move on to the Nets. This is a team that's been on the news repeatedly, day
yeah,
after day after day. Um, their organization's kind of been falling. There's been a
hmm,
lot going on in that team. You have Ben Simmons, who he's been hurt again,
yeah.
Cooper.
He's hurt. Yeah,
And even
I
when
got
he
him in
did,
fantasy, and I
yeah,
traded him because I was like, no, this is a liability
yeah.
issue. So
I mean,
I mean,
even when he is playing, he only had like 7 or 8 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
He's just
he
not that solid of a player, and he hasn't really proved himself to me, at least.
really,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I
think he
mean,
can be. I don't think he has shown that, though.
yeah, he hasn't been that 2018 Ben Simmons that we saw with the Sixers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, you remember back in the day, he was like popping off. Like
Yeah. I mean, he was Ben Simmons.
he was, he was kind of like I don't know. He was kind of like a Magic Johnson almost. He just couldn't shoot, right? Um, but in other news with the Nets, Steve Nash has gotten fired. He was
Yeah.
fired from the team. He was reported saying that he couldn't get the players to listen to him. That's that was his main problem with the team.
And I
And
think that's your biggest job, right?
yeah, if you can't be a leader of a team, then why is he even there?
Yeah. Why are they paying you? So I
Yeah,
know I Mudoka was I think
he's hired. I think.
the key role for that. So
Yeah. Um. Now he does have some allegations against
yeah.
his misconduct. Obviously, um, I don't think he should have been fired for that because he is such a good coach.
I don't think he was fired. I think he was like suspended for a year.
Okay,
Like he couldn't coach the Celtics for a year. So
he just left.
yeah.
Okay,
So
but I mean, he is a good coach, right?
mhm.
So,
Yeah, he's a phenomenal coach, right? So
and
hopefully he can whip the Nets into shape.
yeah, I mean, to me, it's kind of sad to see KD play right now because he's been playing so hard, but they just keep on finding a way to lose.
Yeah,
And he's getting old. KD, I don't see him in Brooklyn at all next year.
I don't either.
So
He's
I think,
definitely getting a trade.
yeah, I definitely think he'll either get traded this year or he'll get signed somewhere else next year.
Yeah,
So that's his two options right now. And he's kind of a big target, so I don't think he'd be traded at all. I think he'll probably go somewhere else next year,
yeah,
signed. And
yeah. I see that as well.
that can be with any team, really. You know, more specifically a playoff team,
Yeah,
right? Um, but Kyrie Irving, he's been in the news a lot recently with
yeah.
Kanye West, obviously with his comments.
Anti-Semitic
Um,
uh, propaganda or something like
yeah,
that.
Jalen Brown and Aaron Donald both left the Donda Sports, um, whatever label it was, or not label, but
Yeah,
whatever his signing thing was, they left that.
the organization.
Yes. Um, Kyrie, he's left, right? He's left that group, the
I
organ.
don't think he was ever in it,
Okay.
but
I
like
Yeah,
he I think he posted something like a movie, an anti-Semitic movie to Twitter or something like that, and
yeah,
basically I think the Nets were trying to get him to apologize, but from my understanding, he wouldn't, and so they suspended him for 3 games. So
really.
yeah,
So I don't know, man. Kyrie, he seems like a good guy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
He seems like a good guy. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong.
yeah,
Um, but him and the Nets donated $1 million to the anti-Semitic organization.
yeah. I saw that.
So that's it's a good thing. You want to see
Yeah.
that from Kyrie, obviously. Um, but I mean, how do you feel about Kyrie so far in the Nets? Moving forward, can they be a playoff team? Can they be a top four team by the end of the regular season?
I mean, I really hope so. If not, then that's a massive mistake by Brooklyn. A waste of 2 years from star players. So I think um, depending on when Udoka actually starts coaching, I think he could definitely turn that organization around with some good leadership and just I mean what he did with the Celtics was so good, and I think the biggest area where the Nets lack is defense. I think we can see them like on the ball shooters. So I mean they're trading possessions, Kyrie, KD, um, some other players. But ultimately, I think
Yeah,
a good defense will go far for them. So
yeah. Would you at this point, if you're the GM, would you trade KD just get some picks? Because I don't know if they have that many picks remaining.
yeah, I don't know about like I would maybe reassess at the end of the year and try and get those picks. Maybe look for a trade, but I would say not yet.
Yeah, because I mean, KD, he is such a big value. Like he's so valued, you know.
Yeah,
I
you
feel
would
like they
have to get a lot of picks just to cover that.
right. I mean,
So
if you see, I would say if it's by the halfway point of the season, if they're under 500, then I would trade him, right?
yeah.
Just to look towards the future, right?
Yeah, but then would you have to trade Kyrie? Is Kyrie gonna stay? Are you just gonna rebuild after that, I
I
guess?
think at that point you probably have to keep Kyrie and then just start rebuilding. Because I mean, Kyrie will
Or do
probably
you trade Kyrie, keep Kevin Durant if he
maybe
would stay,
maybe
maybe
maybe you trade Kyrie to the Lakers, get Russ, some other guys, maybe.
maybe Russ KD.
Imagine, bro.
Imagine.
And then
That would be cool.
James Harden gives to Brooklyn.
No way.
No way, bro.
No way.
I'm still shocked. I'm so shocked that James Harden, Kyrie, and KD didn't win a championship together.
No.
Like they only played 9 games together the whole season.
Yeah, I mean that's probably why.
Obviously,
So
but let's kind of move on because the Nets,
you
they got
can't
the
change the past.
right. You can't change the past with the Nets. They're always gonna
You can
stink.
only change the future. So
They're a smelly team,
let's
obviously.
let's look forward.
Yes. Um, let's move on to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're 6-1. Good dog.
They're looking good, dude.
They're
They're
looking
looking good.
solid. Um, have you watched some highlights of them, Cooper? What have you kind of noticed with their
Yeah,
offense and
so
defense?
I watched the most recent game, them versus the Celtics, and I know Darius Garland had been out, but he was there for this game. He had
Yeah,
29 points, crazy, and he just put on a really good performance. I think Levert was also a key factor in that. I mean, the chemistry between him, Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Love, it's just great. And I think that's the biggest reason they're winning the games like they are.
yeah,
It's just, I mean, I'm excited for them,
yeah.
seeing what they can do going into the mid-season, late season, and maybe the playoffs. So,
Have you thought about going to any Cavs games this year?
dude, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know about going to Ohio.
Well, I mean, if they come to OKC,
Yeah, yeah, I
yeah,
would definitely look into that.
yeah. So Cavs, man, they've made major changes
Yeah,
to their team. And for me, Darius Garland's on my fantasy basketball team, and I forgot to start him. He got 70 points on my bench.
no way.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So I'm gonna start him tonight, obviously.
Yeah,
Um, but so Donovan Mitchell, he's it's looking like the chemistry's there, like you said. Kevin Love's back. Um, this whole team looks different, you know,
Yeah.
and the vibes are different, you know.
It just looks like a more excited, more renewed Cavaliers team. And I'm
Yeah,
excited, bro. I'm excited.
yeah. Who do you think on their team is is the, is the leader of the team? Who's the guy that everybody counts on right now? Who do you think that is?
I'll say Darius Garland.
Okay.
Obviously, you're gonna look to your veterans, just as a leadership. But I think definitely the younger dude, Darius Garland, he's just on fire right now, and I don't think anybody's stopping it. So
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, he's probably the biggest leadership role in that team. Probably pushes guys further. So,
I mean, he's a baller, man. I mean, he's
dude, he
so
is.
he's so accurate, shooting wise. He can get to the paint, obviously, you know, like
Yeah,
he just has a really good ball handling skills, you know.
yeah,
So, and seeing Donovan Mitchell so far, do you think he's kind of adjusted to the offense? Is there
Ye-
anything that he needs to work on a little more? What do you think?
yeah. I think for the most part, yeah. He works well with the big man because I know he threw. I think he threw a couple lobs to Kevin Love, which was exciting. Getting your big man in that mix is always good. I think definitely playing with Rudy Gobert probably helped him with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Another injury report. Kawhi Leonard is out again. It's kind of sad to see because Kawhi's been a guy that's he's a 3-time Finals MVP, right? Or
yeah,
2-time.
uh,
I think it's 2-time.
yeah, probably.
So he he was hurt all last year. Um, People were expecting him to come back this year, but he's still
Hmm.
out. It's kind of sad to see because obviously we all want to play. We all want to do well.
Yeah,
But I mean, I feel like the Clippers can still. They're still a good team without Kawhi Leonard, right? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, for sure.
I don't
I
think.
mean, they got John Wall too, so
Yeah, do you think this is? Do you think this is concerning for the Clippers? Do you think? I mean, I don't really think this will affect them too much, right?
yeah, it shouldn't. Do you know how long he's out?
It seems. I think it was like. I'm not really sure. Let me check.
All right, let's fact check that.
Fact checks. Oh, was Kawhi Leonard out for? Hold on. My God. This is about a week or so. Um,
A week.
yeah.
That's not
So,
bad.
so Kawhi Leonard's out for a week.
Okay, I was like,
Um, yeah, it's. I don't think it's as bad as we expected. Your light just turned on, but you're okay.
blame it on
um,
me, bro.
but I mean, Paul George, right? He's a beast.
Yeah,
And then John Wall. You're talking about John Wall. How's he? Have you seen any like games of him so far? Um, he's
I
looking like
haven't.
he's the same John Wall as before the injuries, right?
Yeah, yeah. I haven't really watched my mini games, but I'm trying to get back on the grind of just watching a bunch of NBA games.
Well, I mean, we all know John Wall. I mean, he's a guy
Yeah,
who makes crazy layups, right? He crosses people up.
yeah.
Um,
He's like a Russell Westbrook hybrid.
right, right. So I think. I don't think this will affect them too much, like you said.
Mhm.
Um,
They're still
but
a solid team. I mean, they got like other players that are pretty solid, so I
and
think they'll be fine.
they're a head coach, Ty Lue, right?
Mhm.
Championship, championship coach. So I mean, they have good pieces around them that can help them win, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they were there 2 years ago. They were right there with Luka Doncic and Devin Booker, and they fell short. You know what I mean? So, and that was without Kawhi Leonard too. So he just
yeah,
it's it's a process. It's a process.
yeah.
Um, but
I mean, a week, that's pretty insignificant, I think.